Welcome and thank you for standing by. All participants are in a listen-only mode for the duration of today's conference, which is being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. After the presentation, we will conduct a question and answer session. At that time, if you would like to ask a question, you may press star 1, then record your first and last name when prompted. Your host for today's conference is Mr. Eric Johnson. Thank you. You may begin.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for registering and joining this webinar this afternoon on getting to know the 2014 Farm Progress International Buyer Program. Our U.S. Commercial Service team is already putting together various aspects of our engagement with the Farm Progress Show for this year, and we look forward today to sharing with you what the International Buyer Program is about and how it will benefit your exhibition at the 2014 Farm Progress Show. Before we go further, I'd also like to introduce a couple of my colleagues who are also on the line. Dustin Ross is our U.S. Commercial Service Project Officer within the International Buyer Program Division in Washington, D.C. And we also have Heather Rank, who is an International Trade Specialist and Office Director for our North Dakota U.S. Export Assistance Center in Fargo. For myself, I'm Eric Johnson, and I'm a Senior International Trade Specialist in the North Georgia USAC, which primarily covers metropolitan Atlanta. Both Heather and I are part of the agribusiness team in the U.S. Commercial Service, and we, among other duties, actually assist project management at trade shows and exhibitions such as the Farm Progress Show. As the operator mentioned a few moments ago, just a couple of housekeeping notes. Your lines are on mute. But we will provide ample question and answer time at the end of the webinar. And if you would like to submit a written question, you can actually manage that by clicking on the Q&A button or radio button at the top of your screen, and we can actually see those questions as they come in and answer them at an appropriate time. Moving on to the presentation. It's probably a good idea to tell you a little bit more about the organization that we work for before we dive into the details on the actual exhibition. And that's particularly for those of you that have not engaged with our services previously. The U.S. Commercial Service is part of the Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration, and our sole reason for existence is to support and counsel U.S. companies on achieving export sales, market entry, and achieving export scalability in global markets. Now, we staff our offices throughout the United States and in U.S. embassies and consulates in over 80 countries, including 122 different cities around the world. And we utilize a global network of trade professionals to connect U.S. companies with international buyers worldwide. We also facilitate international business pavilions like the one you're going to find at the Farm Progress Show. And maybe before we progress further, to keep things interesting, let's do a poll. Heather, if you'll put a poll question up for us, how many of you have actually worked with the U.S. Commercial Service in the past? And we'll give you a couple of moments to enter in your answer before moving forward.
So you have three options for the poll. If you have worked with commercial service, click yes. If you haven't, no. And if you're not sure, there's a third option there. We'll give you just a few more moments.
Okay. Well, I think everyone...
Okay, now we can see the poll results here. It looks like most folks joining the call today have not worked with the commercial service, so this is great that we have the opportunity to present a little bit more about our services.
Okay, well, very good. So I think now what we'll do is we'll actually talk about what does the actual U.S. Commercial Service do. Briefly, in talking specifically about our services, our organization provides a variety of hallmark services. We provide U.S. manufacturers and commercial interests with access to sell their products, equipment, and services globally. Our network is expansive and enables our organization to have relationships with foreign governments and business leaders in every key international market where you likely have interest to expand your sales footprint. Our network is composed of domestic specialists such as Dustin, Heather, and I, and as well as commercial specialists abroad who provide their expertise across major industry sectors. And importantly, most of our specialists have actually worked for private industry, and many of them are now counseling clients in those sectors from which they have private industry experience. And in 2013, the value add of our U.S. commercial service has been worth billions of dollars in impact. Now, generally speaking, our organization does provide 4 consistent types of services, including trade counseling, where we provide information and commercial advice to assist companies in navigating country trends, opportunities, challenges, as well as sorting out the documentary requirements and paperwork required to sell products abroad. Second, we provide market intelligence on best markets and prospects globally that enable U.S. exporters to capitalize on trade opportunities. We also provide matchmaking services through a number of mechanisms. You're going to learn about the B2B marketplace a little later today, but we also provide a fee-for-service program called the Gold Key Market and Matching Service. The Gold Key program is one way that U.S. companies are able to outsource a portion of their strategic business development function and have prospects identified and vetted based on their own unique business needs. This certainly does help to reduce time, cost, and risk associated with opening new export markets. Last, we provide advocacy services on behalf of U.S. companies to ensure access for success in global markets. So now that you know more details about our organization, I'd like to maybe conduct one more quick poll. And Heather, if you'll pull that up. Our question is going to be, have you ever exported before? And here, your options are going to be yes, no, or just to Canada, and is that an export? All right, let's maybe give just a couple more seconds, and Heather, I'll let you review the results.
Okay, looks like 80% have exported before, and 20% have not.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, it's great to know that a good portion of you are currently exporting, and we certainly look forward to helping move that forward and hopefully new markets for all of you. So let's talk now about what exactly is an international buyer program. So your company's probably wondering that yourself and what you can expect from our team at the Farm Progress Show. Well, the International Buyer Program is a joint government industry effort that brings thousands of international buyers to the United States for business-to-business matchmaking with U.S. firms exhibiting at major industry trade shows. Every year, the International Buyer Program results in approximately $1 billion in new business for U.S. companies and increased international attendance for participating U.S. trade show organizers. The goal of the International Buyer Program is to participate in trade shows in key industries to maximize business between U.S. companies and foreign buyers, such as the Farm Progress Show. Additionally, the International Buyer Program strives to continuously grow its program offerings based on the needs of trade show organizers, U.S. companies, foreign buyers, and the general public. The Farm Progress Show was actually selected to be part of this International Buyer Program due to its impact and magnitude within the agriculture industry, given that annually this show attracts 600 exhibitors, 100,000 attendees, and enjoys the distinction as being the agricultural world fair. Because of the impact and magnitude of the Farm Progress Show, we've planned an international trade center as part of our International Buyer Program. The International Trade Center is going to be located within the Wallace's Farmer Hospitality Tent located in the center of the grounds, and I believe this is between 5th or 6th Street and Central Avenue. This would be 526 on your Farm Progress map. The International Trade Center includes an official welcoming area for international attendees and is also where you will find our U.S. Commercial Service staff. We know it can be difficult for exhibitors to get away from their booths at shows, so we do welcome you to visit the International Trade Center and as well have your Showtime appointments or any other matchmaking appointments scheduled in the center as you require. Also, if you would like to meet with international buyers or schedule meetings in a private meeting space, the International Trade Center offers this convenience on a first-come, first-served basis. Also, a variety of language services and interpretation will likely be available on site, including potentially Spanish, Portuguese, German, Japanese, and Chinese. These languages will be confirmed in advance of the show. Also, you will find a lounge with refreshments and the ability to access communication services, telephones, faxes, and computers. Overall, the International Trade Center is intended to be a central location where both U.S. exhibiting companies and attending international buyers can come together, network, receive export counseling, and be introduced to both suppliers and buyers. And this is a resource that your company can rely upon for both strategic and tactical counseling by coming to the center and working with our entire commercial service team. The International Trade Center hours are from 8 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, and from 8 to 4 on Thursday. Again, this is where you can find our staff and access to some of the Farm Progress personnel, as well as where international buyers will spend a great deal of time. The U.S. Commercial Service has planned a number of value-added services that your company can participate and benefit from within the Farm Progress International Buyer Program at no additional cost. All of the programs have been designed to assist your international sales and provide you with opportunities to meet buyers and receive export counseling. The 5 programs that are included as part of the International Buyer Program are Showtime, B2B Matchmaking, the Export Interest Directory, the Global Markets Resource Guide, and an interesting forum titled Made in Rural America. Please note that the B2B Matchmaking Forum and the Export Interest Directory are somewhat linked, and you're going to learn a little bit more about that in a few moments. These are all great programs, and I can't recommend enough that you spend time in our International Trade Center engaging with our staff who can answer questions on the export process in addition to these 5 programs. Now we're going to spend a little more time detailing each one of the services. First, you probably noted an asterisk on a couple of the programs, both for Showtime and B2B. Both of these programs do require that your manufactured product be comprised of at least 51% U.S. content for participation. The Showtime program provides the opportunity to meet agricultural and machinery commercial specialists from U.S. embassies and consulates attending the Farm Progress Show. All of our specialists will be able to provide you with a quick market assessment for your product in their respective countries or expertise area. They will provide you with guidance on market entry, next steps, and make referrals to our global staff who can assist your own unique needs. You're definitely going to receive a great deal of candid feedback on your export potential and direction on where you should look in terms of additional markets. These meetings are scheduled at your booth, or you can prefer to have them scheduled in the International Trade Center, and they will occur over the course of the 3-day exhibition. We do require that you register for Showtime. Please note that the deadline is August 18th, and you will likely be receiving your appointments not later than August 20th, and those will actually come through on email format. Specific to Showtime, we do expect commercial specialists to attend from many different countries and regions from around the globe, including Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Cambodia, Chad, Colombia, Estonia, India, Russia, South Africa, Thailand, Uganda, and the Ukraine, among other countries. Please note that this list of countries will be updated as we approach the actual show date, and you can access this information by contacting me direct or by clicking on the Showtime registration site. In addition to Showtime appointments with our country specialists, you can also request similar meetings with our international trade finance specialists at the U.S. Small Business Administration and also the Export-Import Bank of the United States. And additionally, our colleague with U.S. Commercial Service, Pat Sweeney, will provide counseling on manufacturing opportunities and process improvement. Now, before I show you a couple of slides regarding the Showtime registration form, I'll have Heather pull up another poll. This question is, what region do you sell to most? A couple of options listed on the slide: the North American Free Trade Agreement area, Canada and Mexico, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Central and South America, Africa, Asia, and then the last category, none or some or all of the above. So if you'll take a couple of moments to actually enter your entry. All right. Looks like we have a pretty good representation of the attendees. So, Heather?
Yes, NAFTA and the Americas, and then a mix, probably multiple countries.
All right. Well, very good. We certainly look forward to helping your companies expand into the other regions that you might not have previously anticipated or expected. So going a little bit further with Showtime, you're able to register for Showtime by going to this website at the top of the screen, and or you've likely already received some sort of communication from our team with details about where you can register. If you receive that email, it's probably easier if you just go and click on that hyperlink, which will take you straight into a registration page that looks similar to this. What you see on the left hand of the screen is really kind of the opening page from our registration process. You have to enter into this pertinent company details, such as your contact information, what you manufacture, as well as any guidelines on the type of counseling you would like to receive with each of our country specialists. You must also check a box that you do meet the U.S. 51% content rule. You must click the box next to which countries or specialists you would like to have meetings with. And you'll see on the right-hand portion of your screen an example of what this looks like. You actually have to check the box next to Argentina and Australia if you want to have meetings with just those two, or you can check as many as you would like. Importantly, when you fill out this form, you do have to click the Submit button, and completing your registration ensures that you will have access to market assessments through this program. Once you click Submit, I'm actually going to be receiving a notification and we'll compile appointments on your behalf, and again, we'll deliver these to you not later than August 20th via email. Your appointments will be, here again, scheduled at your booth unless you indicate otherwise, and these appointments typically last between 15 to 20 minutes. So what I'd like to do now is turn the program over to Heather Rank, who will talk a little bit further about the B2B matchmaking program and the export interest directory. Heather?
Thank you, Eric. Well, we all know that at trade shows it can be a little chaotic, and things tend to happen very fluidly, and sometimes you wish you had known in advance who you should meet with. Well, we have a software and a program that helps you get some of your meetings set up in advance. So the way it works is you, as an exhibitor who has participated in the Export Interest Directory, you will receive an opportunity to activate your profile in order that your information be presented to international buyers who plan to come to Farm Progress Show. So you have to opt into the program, and that allows people who are planning to come to the show from overseas to look through and find those who have the type of equipment or services that they're looking for, and then they can, through this system, request a meeting appointment with you in advance. You have an opportunity to accept or deny based on their information, and then you get a calendar that shows all your appointments. So it's very important that you activate your profile and that you accurately put in your description and the type of equipment you have so that people can find you. I will point out the registration deadline for this is June 30th. So what we do first is have all of the exhibitor companies load their information into the system, and then at that point we will publish that to our international delegation so that they have a complete list of companies who are interested in meeting with foreign buyers. This is just a snapshot of what you would see once you go into that link that you saw there, the Expo Planner. Give you a snapshot of what this looks like. So again, you need to activate your profile, and then the international IBP delegates will be able to search through the profile based on their criteria of what they're looking for and request appointments with you. So this is what the login page would look like. You will, once you register, you will get your own customized username and password that you have to use to log into the system. So you should have an email. This system is already live and active. It started out this past Tuesday. And once you are into the system, I'll give you a snapshot of what it looks like here. So on the left are the times. You're going to put what times you're available to meet with people so that you can block off times that you may have other appointments, and the buyers would have to choose from the times that you said you're available to meet with people. Then on the right you can see there it shows what they would see, the buyers, as they're looking through to identify who they want to meet with. So every time someone requests an appointment with you from overseas, you will get an email notifying you, and then you will have to go in and either confirm, comment, or deny the appointment request. I believe that covers the basics of it. So we can review questions at the end, but I'll turn it back over to Eric at this point.
Okay, great. Well, another product that we will actually make available at the Foreign Progress Show is our Global Market Resource Guide. This will reflect all of the countries for which we have commercial specialists and international delegations attending. The Agricultural Resource Guide will be made available in the International Trade Center, likely both in print format and on CD-ROM. Within this guide, you will find sections dedicated to the countries which will be represented at the Foreign Progress Show that we've already mentioned. Again, these countries may likely change as we progress toward the show, but importantly, you will find several pages of data on each country that will provide guidance on how to navigate the best prospects, what market entry strategies actually work best within this country, what are the trends and or opportunities, and how can you mitigate potential challenges within that particular country. So make certain that you do stop by our Trade Center and pick up a copy of this. It should be quite useful for you. Finally, we do have another program that's scheduled as part of the International Buyer Program, and this is likely going to be scheduled on either August 26th or 27th. The date and the time will be confirmed as we move closer to the show. This is going to be a very interesting forum whereby our colleagues from the U.S. Commercial Service in North Dakota and Iowa, along with our colleagues from the Small Business Administration and the Export-Import Bank representatives, will discuss trends and opportunities for agricultural products and services, as well as those international trade finance options that are available for U.S. companies in this Made in Rural America Export Forum. Again, we will keep you updated as we move forward with the details, and certainly you can contact either myself or Heather or Dustin for more information. One additional thing I did want to call your attention to that you should be interested in and hopefully will attend is the 2014 Farm Progress International Reception. Now, this is not organized by the U.S. Commercial Service. It's organized by the Farm Progress Show, and it's your opportunity to network with international buyers. It will be something that invitations will be sent out to the entirety of the Export Interest Directory. It's located on the events tent on the showgrounds and is at 4 to 6 p.m., again on August 27th. So certainly take advantage of this and come out for that. We look forward to seeing you there. This really does conclude the formal part of our presentation as to what the International Buyer Program offerings are going to be. And certainly we do look forward to meeting with your firms in Iowa in August. We're providing you with our contact details here, and we do have quite a bit of time at this point to answer any questions that you do have. So, operator, if you would unmute the line, we'll take questions and see.
All right. At this time, if anyone has a question, please press *1, state your name when prompted, and if you would like to withdraw your question, please press *2. However, please press *1 and ask a question. Thank you.
Okay. Well, while we wait for some questions to come through, one thing I'll mention again is that this webinar is being recorded and will be made available for you to listen through one more time. If you know any of your fellow exhibitors who haven't been able to attend this webinar, you can let them know that this will be available for download. And certainly, we look forward to working with the entirety of the Farm Progress Show exhibitors.
Our first question comes from Mr. Ron Hawk. Mr. Hawk, your line is open.
Yes. I'm looking at the website for the U.S. Export Interest Directory, wanting to be able to register for the supplier login. Would you be able to, I shot Heather an email in order to request a password. How would I go through that process of getting a password?
The way that works is first you have to sign up for the Export Interest Directory through that SurveyMonkey process. Once a week we are receiving an update of the list of the companies in Export Interest Directory. So if you just sign up for that today or very recently, you may not have received the notification. Dustin will be going through that, and then you will receive an email from me, well, at least once a week. But the deadline is June 30th, so that's the process. Does that answer your question?
I think so. So I registered. Patricia Cook sent me the contact information in order to get into this webinar, and from there, that's the SurveyMonkey you're referring to?
Oh, that is, if you emailed me already, I will email you back the link to do the SurveyMonkey to get into the Export Interest Directory. Then at that point, you would be eligible for the B2B matchmaking program, and we will automatically send you, within the next week, your username and password.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Thank you, Heather.
Yep.
And there are no further questions at this time.
I have one more.
All right.
Could you go back to the slide on the date and the time for the reception at the Farm Progress Show? There we go. 4 to 6.
Right, so that's going to be for August 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. All right, while we're waiting for any additional questions, Dustin or Heather, is there anything else you'd like to mention this afternoon or anything that we might need to address?
I just might mention that we, of course, are resources for networking the old-fashioned way as well. These specialists who you would be meeting with during the Showtime meetings are escorting large delegations of buyers who are at the show. So by meeting with them, they can help you get in contact with people who are in their delegation if there's a match. That's, you know, our specialists overseas are very well-connected people. And so getting in touch with them, you know, they're very busy at the show. It's a good opportunity to learn about the market and get connected to some of their delegations by doing those Showtime appointments.
Okay, well, I think we may have exhausted all of the questions that are out there. I will bring back the last slide one more time. Certainly you have all of our email addresses and telephone numbers. Please feel free to take this information down, contact all of us, and we certainly appreciate the Farm Progress Show organizers for allowing us to actually provide this webinar this afternoon. And if there are no further questions, we will conclude this webinar.
I think I will make one further point. I can't remember if we mentioned this or not. For the B2B program, there will be a time lag between the time you enter your information and the time you receive any meeting requests because of not opening it up to the buyers until we have all the supplier profiles loaded in there. So don't worry if you don't get any immediate appointment requests. We will not be opening it up to the foreign buyers until July 15. So so most of your meeting requests would probably come in late July or early August, just as an FYI.
Great. Thanks, Heather. All right. Well, on behalf of my colleagues, Heather and Dustin, I thank you all for joining in this afternoon. We look forward to meeting you in a couple of months in August. So thank you again.
This now concludes today's conference. All lines may disconnect at this time. If speakers could hold for post-conference, please.